So Ubisoft had their showcase a couple of days ago, and we finally got to see what AC Mirage was going to look like. And, you know, a lot of fans were excited as this was going down, quoted as a return to Assassin's Creed roots, a love letter to the first AC game. And after seeing that gameplay, I'm not fully convinced as much as I want to be. Anyways, let's just go through a few things. So I wasn't a huge fan of the RPG games, especially Valhalla. Valhalla is one of the most monotonous drag of games I have ever played, and I actually bought myself to complete it a couple months back, as well as the DLC. And oh boy, I don't know why I did that to myself. But anyway, as soon as this gameplay showcase started, I immediately saw the resemblance to Valhalla. Especially in its movement. The movement looked identical to Valhalla, and that is what... I think that's the main thing that put me off this game. Now, I know the game started as a expansion originally for Valhalla, so I get it. Let's reuse the movement, all the animations, that's fine, whatever. Reuse animations where you want. But I don't think Valhalla's animations were right cool in terms of movement. I was hoping for something more like Assassin's Creed Unity, which in my opinion is one of the best. Take that as you will. It's great if you put it off because of the buggy launch or whatever, but forget that, it's great. Play it, it's underrated. Amazing movement, amazing combat. But I'm getting sidetracked. But looking at this gameplay, it looks like the default speed is running, and that is really my main problem. We'll get to the abilities in a second, but the default speed being running kind of removes that sense of the classic Assassin's Creed games. If we look back to the first game and even the Ezio trilogy, it was all about hiding in plain sight, you know, moving between crowds, slowly approaching wherever your target is, or who your target is or whatever, using the crowds to get closer, using rooftops and all that. And you know, I'm sure you can do that in this game, but having your normal speed being a run kind of ruins it a little bit, because it goes back to what I said about the weight of your character. I like the character feeling a bit heavy in this older Assassin's Creed games. It just allowed for that, I don't know, more intense gameplay, I guess, is the point I'm trying to get across. But I think that slow, hiding in plain sight gameplay is a must if you're going to call yourself a return to roots and a love letter to the first AC game at that. So we also get a glimpse at the combat, which, for the brief moment they showed it, it does look almost the same. The parrying system seems to be identical, where you press both shoulder buttons to parry. I wasn't a big fan of that either. I think the older games, as much flack as they get for their combat being easy and very spammy with just a single button press, it was fun, you know, it made you feel badass, it looked really cool at that. Don't get me wrong, I think Valhalla's combat and the trilogy in general, the RPG one, was good for like 1v1 combat. Especially because, you know, I think it was more focused on that, rather than taking on multiple people at a time, because I definitely struggled to do that in those games, until you got, obviously, some abilities that helped out with that. But, you know, I could be wrong. I based all of that solely on that 5 seconds of brief combat we got in that. It could be totally different in the main game or when you're playing it. So, yeah. But I think the main point is, I'm not sure if the current devs of the AC franchise understand what made the old game so beloved. I think they had their priorities in the wrong area. Now let's talk abilities. Abilities are back. Oh boy. Abilities are cool. They provide an extra tool in combat. They could be really creative sometimes, and they could be hella OP sometimes and really useful. I don't like this supernatural sort of teleporting around chain kill thing. It looks a little bit lazy. It looks like they just didn't want to put any animations in there. But it's mainly that supernatural aspect of it. You can have abilities, it's fine. If the modern combat system calls for it, cool. Keep it grounded in reality though. I know AC has had its run-ins with like this supernatural sort of thing in the past, you know, the Apple of Eden, The chick at the end of AC2 and the Ezio trilogy, whatever her name was, I forgot. But the character, the protagonist, was always grounded in reality. You know, they were a human at the end of the day. They didn't have any godlike powers, but this doesn't seem to keep with that. You know, I don't know too much about Basim. Maybe he is a chosen one, like the RPG trilogy people were, you know, powers from the gods or whatever. But I think if they were going to advertise this game as a roots to the series, they should have skipped the supernatural side for the main character at least, and just try and get those abilities more grounded. You know, this video has been quite negative, but I do want to say the game looks beautiful. There is definitely some vibe of classic AC there. I'm not saying it's a rip-off. Don't listen to the devs. They don't know what they're doing. No, it's not that at all. I think they're trying, you know, and it's definitely a step in the right direction. And I'm not going to say, oh, I'm not going to buy it. I'm definitely going to buy it and play it, and we'll definitely make a video around that time addressing all the issues I had, all the concerns I had after this gameplay reveal. We'll revisit it and see what I was wrong about, see what I was right about, and why I enjoyed or whatever. But yeah, we'll definitely do that when the game comes out. It's just been a while since we've had a classic AC Formula game, and them saying love letter to AC. It's got a lot of people hyped, and I think a lot of people are banking on this to be in a traditional Assassin's Creed experience, and I don't think they're going to get that. So it could see a little bit of backlash at launch when people realise, hold on, this is just a slightly tweaked Valhalla, and I think that's my main concern of what it actually might be, and that's what I don't want. I want this franchise to be able to thrive in both aspects. I know there are people that love those RPG games, and fair play to them. There are solid games there, they're just not for me. But I think the two types of games can exist together, maybe rotating one year to the next of which game gets what, and I think they are leaning in that direction with the Japanese one, the ninja one they announced alongside Mirage way back when, and that other one they teased at the end, which I'm not entirely sure what that one was, whether it be an RPG game or a traditional game or whatever, but I think they are going to try and cater for both fan bases to more or less just make everybody happy, and I think this is the first sort of shot they get at it, and whether they get it right or not is going to be, it will leave an impression, especially on the classic fans, of whether they can actually make a game like they used to, and whether it's worth clinging onto this series. And you know, I have been reading the comments, and a lot of people are happy with it. They're excited for it. They love that. They genuinely think the game will deliver, and I'm happy about that. But I think if you start to nitpick at little details like I just have, then it sort of falls apart a little bit. But we'll have to wait and see. I'm excited. It would be, I think the little hint of it being a traditional AC will be there, and it will feel sort of nostalgic to play when we eventually get our hands on it. But it's just those little bits of Valhalla creeping in to sort of ruin it for me. I think it's just because I hate Valhalla. I think that's the issue of it. I'm just seeing Valhalla, the slight animations, oh, that's from Valhalla. Don't like that. I'm gonna hate this game. Yeah, you can't think like that. But I think that's gonna do it for this video. I've ranted long enough. I don't know if I got any of my points across, but I appreciate you watching. I know this is a little bit different from what I usually do, the Pokemon stuff. So if you're new here, welcome. Subscribe. Like. I'll do a little bit more of this. If you're here for the Pokemon stuff, don't worry. More's coming. Branching out, opening different things as well as Pokemon, just different random stuff to open, you know. So I appreciate you all watching. Stay tuned. Gonna start branching out, doing a little bit more gaming content. Street Fighter 6, been playing a lot of that, loving it. Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom. Phenomenal game, completed that last week. I hope you enjoy this format, and expect more of it, because I kind of enjoy doing it. That's the main reason. So this has been Mickey TCG, and I'll see you guys later.